In this video, I'm going to show you how you can easily lodge your own tax return for free using MyTax. If this is your first time lodging your tax return in Australia, then you may feel intimidated, but trust me guys, it's actually very easy once you know how to do it. Let's get straight into it. MyTax is a free program provided by the ATO. The best thing about MyTax is 1, it's free, and 2, you don't have to download any software onto your computer. It's a program that works straight on your internet browser. You just need internet access and a MyGov account. So first we need a MyGov account. If you already have a MyGov account, then feel free to skip ahead to the part about MyTax. I have left timestamps down below. If you don't have a MyGov account, then you need to sign up for one. Go to Google and type in MyGov. Then click the first link that comes up. Then click Create Account. Here you'll have 2 options to create your MyGov account, either through email or by digital identity, which requires a MyGov ID. MyGov ID and MyGov account are 2 different things. A MyGov account is what we are trying to sign up for right now, so you can link to multiple government services like the ATO, Medicare and Centrelink. Whereas MyGov ID is an Australian government digital identity app, which you can use to sign into a number of government online services like MyGov. Think of MyGov ID as the key to unlock all these benefits online. You can choose to sign up either way, but I would strongly recommend signing up for MyGov ID because you'll eventually need it anyway to link your MyGov account to the ATO. And like I said, you can use it to link to other government services like Medicare and Centrelink. These are handy government services that you'll need access to as you grow older. So if you want to sign up to a MyGov ID, click this link here and it'll take you to this page that shows you what MyGov ID is and the benefits it provides. There's even a video that shows you how to sign up. So just follow the instructions given. Now if you don't want to sign up for a MyGov ID right now for whatever reason, then you can select continue with email. From here you can agree to the terms and conditions and follow the prompts like you are signing up for any other online account. Have a read of the terms of use, and if you agree with everything, then tick the boxes and click next. They will then ask you for your email address. I would recommend using your personal email and not a work one, since this email will be linked to your account going forward. So enter your email and click next. They will then send you a 6-number code to verify your email. So go into your email, enter the code and click next. Now it's asking for your mobile number so it can send you one-time use codes whenever you sign into your account in the future. This just adds an extra layer of security. If you don't have a mobile number or you don't want to provide one, click skip this step. Otherwise, enter your number and click next. Then they will ask you to create a password. So just create one using the requirements they have provided. They will then ask you to answer 3 secret questions, so if you ever have to change your password in the future, this is a way to prove to them that you are who you say you are. So go ahead and do this. Then once you're done, click next. And there you go, they have created your account for you. Let's click continue. So once you have your MyGov account, log into your account. What you want to do now is click profile and connect digital identity. So this is where you'll have to provide your MyGov ID. So if you don't have one already, go back to the previous steps and create one. Once you have it, come back to this digital identity tab and click connect digital identity. Then follow the prompts on screen to connect your MyGov ID details. Once this is done, go back to your profile page, select link services and link Australian Tax Office. Then you'll have access to the ATO. Before starting your tax return this year, make sure you receive this email from the ATO stating that your employer has uploaded your payroll details for the year. This just ensures that all the pre-filled items on MyTax are up to date. You don't want to do your tax return right on the 1st of July, because if your tax figures change, then you'll have to do a tax adjustment. And trust me, that's very annoying. Usually your employer will upload all the details by mid-July every year. Alright, so let's begin. Let's click MyTax and it should take you to this page. If this is your first time using MyTax, they will ask you for your personal details. So type in your email, mobile number and residential address. Double check to make sure everything is correct, then click next. On this next page, they will ask you for your bank details. This is the account where they'll refund your money to. So you'll definitely want to get this one correct, or else they'll send your money to someone else. And well, that will be very sad. Once you have triple checked that you put the correct account, click next. Were you an Australian resident for tax purposes from 1st of July to 30th of June? I assume most of you are, so click yes. Did you have a spouse at any time between 1st of July and 30th of June? The reason they ask is they will combine you and your spouse as one household, which can have some tax benefits. A spouse is someone you are legally married to or lives with you in a genuine relationship. For this one, I'll just say no to keep it simple. Then they will ask if you use the ATO's app called My Deductions, which is a useful tool you can download to track all your receipts, invoices for any deductions you want to claim throughout the year. Then when it comes to tax time, it's already there waiting for you. It will save you a lot of time and stress of having to find all your receipts later on. So if you didn't use the My Deductions app this year, then it's probably a good idea to set one up so you can use it next year. Just click this link here and it'll take you to this page which has a video that shows you how to use the app. And to upload your data, you just follow these steps on screen and it will automatically upload all your deductions for you. However, I assume most of you won't have this app yet, so let's ignore it for now and move on. In the next part, they'll ask you to select what you want to claim or report to the ATO. If you have used MyTax before, then they may pre-fill it for you based on what you selected in previous years. However, I'm going to assume this is your first time, so let's manually select what we need. So just slowly go through the options and select the lines that are relevant to you. Make sure you take your time. So the first one is salary, wages and income. Let's click this box. Now I'm guessing a majority of you will have a job that pays you a salary or wage. So we're going to click this box here, and for most of you, that should be all you need from this part. However, feel free to look through this list to see if any other options apply to you. The next box is income from Australian super or annuity funds. So this will only apply to people who are near retirement age. So if you didn't receive any income from your super, then let's untick this box and skip ahead. The next box is asking if you received an Australian interest, income, or losses from investments. So interest can include bank interest from leaving your money in a savings account. This does not include your offset account, which is saving you interest rather than earning interest, which is tax-free. So if you do have a savings account that paid you interest last year, then click this box. I'm guessing if you watch my channel, then you probably have a few stocks that pay dividends, in which case you'll need to click this box. If you have an investment property that pays you rent, then click this box. Manage fund distributions. So this means ETFs that pay dividends. I'm guessing you may have a few of those, so let's click this box. If you sold any stocks during the year for a profit or a loss, then click this box. And this last box is unapplied net capital losses from earlier years to carry forward but no capital gains tax event this year. This basically means if you made a capital loss by selling a stock lower than what you bought it for, you can carry forward the loss to offset any future capital gains. So click this box if it applies to you. The next option is for sole traders or if you have a business. I'll skip this part for now because today's video is focused on a simple tax return for the average Australian. I may do another video in the future focused on business tax returns if there's enough interest. So let me know down below if that's what you want. The next option is foreign income. If you own an investment like a house in another country and you sell it for a profit, then you'll have to tick other foreign income. If none of these boxes apply to you, then let's move on. The next option is other income. So let's click this link here, and if you have any of these other income, then click the box. However, let's leave it for this example. The next option is deductions, and you'll definitely want to click this box if you want to claim any deductions to reduce your overall tax bill. So if you have a full-time job, then click work-related expenses. You can also claim gifts, donations, interest, dividends, and even cost of an accountant doing your tax for you. But of course, this doesn't apply to you today since you are doing your own tax return, so let's skip the rest of these boxes here. You can also ignore the last two options because it's unlikely they will apply to you. So if you're happy with all that, click next. Alright, so this is the actual page where you complete your tax return. And again, just a friendly reminder to wait until mid-July to give enough time for your employers to enter your data to MyTax. Once it's ready, you will receive a MyGov email to confirm. So every time you open up MyTax, your salary or wages should already be pre-filled. So quickly have a look and make sure it's correct. So this is your salary before tax, and this is your tax withheld, meaning it's what you have already paid in tax during the last financial year. When you first started your job, you probably selected the pay as you go option, so the ATO has been charging you tax every time you got a pay slip last year. And MyTax is going to help you calculate whether you need to pay more tax or receive a refund for paying too much tax. I will now go through two example tax returns, one simple and one a bit more complicated. And you can apply the one that's most similar to your own tax return. By the way, a quick disclaimer, I am not a tax accountant and the information today is for entertainment purposes only. This video is aimed at the average Australian who has a full-time job, a few ETFs under their name, and a few work-related deductions. So it's only for relatively simple tax returns. If you have a more complicated tax return, so say you run your own business or you own multiple investment properties, then I would strongly recommend you go see a professional tax accountant. They will be able to properly structure your portfolio to be as tax efficient as possible because they do this every day and are up to date with all the new laws and legislation. So having said all that, let's continue. So example 1, you are single and you earn $70,000 per year, which is the average Australian salary. You don't have any investments at all and you just want to claim some work deductions but don't have any receipts. So in this scenario, all you need to do is leave your salary as it is. Scroll down to deductions and click add. Here you can see there are many things you can claim a deduction for, provided you have the correct receipt or invoice. I won't go through every single one of them since we'll be here forever, but I will leave a link in the description to this page on the ATO site that shows you all the deductions you can legally claim and how to calculate them. I would encourage you to carefully go through this page and see if any of them apply to you. But for this example, let's say you want to claim laundry expenses for your work. Let's click add. So let's pick the clothing type. Since you are working in a factory, you need occupation-specific clothing. Unfortunately, you didn't keep a receipt, so the maximum total deduction you can claim is $300. So let's enter $300 and click save. And to be clear, the $300 is the maximum total deductions you can claim on this tax return without a receipt. So if you also had $500 worth of work-related travel expenses but without a receipt, unfortunately, you won't be able to claim it. And that is why it's a good idea to use the My Deductions app that we discussed earlier, so you have all your receipts ready for you. So since we're done here, click save and continue. So as you can see, the $300 deduction reduced your taxable income from $70,000 to $69,700. We can probably ignore this income test since it's very unlikely to apply to you, but you can have a look inside if you wish. So now, we just need to add your Medicare details, so click add. So here it's asking if you have any dependents. So if you have any, then put down how many, but for this example, let's select 0. This part is the Medicare levy exemption. All Australian residents are required to pay a 2% Medicare levy, which helps fund Australia's public healthcare system. So all those bulk billed doctor visits you have access to are paid for using everyone's tax. So have a look if you qualify for any of these exemptions in the last year. However, the majority of you won't qualify, so let's click no. If you earn over $93,000 as a single or $186,000 as a family, and you don't have private health insurance, then you are required to pay an extra 1% Medicare levy surcharge. This is in addition to the compulsory 2% Medicare levy. However, in this scenario, you only earn $70,000, so you won't have to pay the Medicare levy surcharge. So let's select no to having private patient hospital cover. And we are done here, so let's click save and continue. Now we just need to answer 2 more questions. How did you complete this tax return? Just select prepared myself. Will you need to lodge an Australian tax return in future years? Let's select yes. And that's it. Now you can click calculate tax estimate. And here you can see your estimated tax refund. And it's showing your estimated tax return is $1,775.50. You can click show calculation here to reveal the breakdown of the final figure. So it shows your tax on your taxable income and your Medicare levy. If you want to know how these are calculated, then I'll leave a link to a video I made where I explain Australia's tax brackets and how your tax is calculated based on how much you earn. So definitely go check that out after watching this video. Then you have the pay-as-you-go withholding, which is all the tax you have already paid in the last financial year. Since you have paid more than you owe, the ATO is now refunding you the difference. Then once you have double checked everything, then click lodge. And congratulations, you are done. Let's now move on to the second example. In this scenario, you are single and you earn $120,000 per year. You have some money in the bank which pays you interest each month. You own a few ETFs that pay you dividends and you sold some stocks during the year for a profit. You also have receipts for a few work-related expenses. So once again, this is your salary for the year and this is your total tax withheld. Let's go into interest. Here you need to report how much interest you received from the bank. Most banks these days can tell you how much interest they have paid you for the year. So for example, if I log into my Commonwealth account and go into account information and scroll down, they will have a nice summary on my interest earned. So let's enter your bank name and account number, and enter the gross interest that the bank has summarized for you. If you did not provide your tax file number to your bank, there should be another summary that shows the total TFN amounts withheld. But if you did provide your tax file number, then you can leave this as 0. So if you're happy with that, hit save and continue. Next, let's go into the dividends tab. This is where you must declare the dividends that were paid to you from individual companies. Please note this does not include ETFs. So let's say you had some shares in Commonwealth Bank. They will send you a dividend statement every time you get paid. And on this statement, there will be a breakdown of what you need to enter for your tax. So let's enter the name of the company and enter exactly what it says on the dividend statement. Once you're done, let's click save and continue. The next thing we need to add is the managed fund distributions. So let's click add. Now this is where you must declare all the dividends you received from your ETFs. So for example, say you invest in VAS, which is one of Australia's most popular ETFs. Let's type in the fund name. And at the end of the year, Vanguard should send you something called an issuer annual tax statement. And if you open it up, it actually has these tax return labels here, which matches exactly what MyTax is asking for. So this makes it very easy. So just copy and paste as per each label. It's as easy as that. And by the way, MyTax is quite intelligent, so in the following years, it may already have access to this information and have it pre-filled for you, and you just have to double check if it's correct. And if you have several ETFs, go ahead and add them all. And once you're done, click save and continue. The next part is capital gains or losses. Let's click add. Now MyTax only requires you to enter the total capital gains for the year. So you need to be keeping a running record of all the stocks you sold during the year and how much profit or loss you made for each trade. If you want to know how to calculate capital gains, I have a video specifically talking about this, which I'll link down below. So go ahead and watch that video to get your final figure. But if you already know what you're doing, then enter your total current year capital gains. Then enter your net capital gain, which is basically your total capital gains minus your total capital losses. And if you have any net capital loss from previous years, then you can add it here to reduce your current year capital gains. But please note that you can only use your capital loss to offset your capital gains. You won't be able to reduce your overall tax payable with your capital loss. So let's select no for this question and we can ignore this part here. Once you're happy with everything, click save and continue. Let's go into deductions. So as we saw in example 1, this is where you can claim several deductions to reduce your overall taxable income. So let's say you have some work-related car expenses. Your work requires you to travel from the office during work hours to see clients. You kept the logbook for the year and calculated that you traveled 1,000 kilometers for the last financial year to see clients. So let's select cents per kilometer and enter 1,000 kilometers. Make sure you read the information provided to confirm that you qualify to claim this deduction. Let's also claim work-related self-education expenses. So you can claim expenses for self-education if it's related to your profession and if it's likely to increase your income in the future. So you could select either of these options. And here you can claim course fees, textbooks, stationery, and many other things. So let's select general expenses. In this example, let's say you're an accountant and you're taking the CPA course to improve yourself. Let's claim the CPA course fees. So enter the course name in the description and put the amount you paid. Usually there are 2 exams per year, so let's enter the total amount. Just make sure you have the invoices for these. Now please note, you can only claim this amount if your work has not reimbursed you. So again, please make sure to read through the information carefully to see if you actually qualify. And just like example 1, I'll leave a link down below to this page on the ATO site that shows all the deductions you can claim. I would strongly encourage you to look through them to see if you qualify for any of them. And even if you don't qualify this year, at least you will know what you can claim for next year. Once you have entered all your deductions, click save and continue. And we are almost done here, guys. Let's scroll down to income tests and click edit. Just fill out what is relevant to your case. Do we have any tax-free government pension? Let's put 0. Any foreign income? Let's put 0. Do you pay child support? If you do, then put how much. But for this example, let's keep it as 0. Click save and continue. And last part, let's fill in our Medicare details. Click add. Number of dependent children, we'll leave it as 0 for this example. Do you qualify for any of these exemptions? I'm gonna assume no. So we will have to pay the 2% Medicare levy like most Australians. Alright, so this part is important. The Medicare levy surcharge. Since we earn $120,000 in this example, it goes over the $93,000 threshold. So in this case, we'll have to pay an extra 1% Medicare levy surcharge. That is of course unless we have private hospital cover. So luckily we do have private health insurance, so let's say yes. So it's now telling you that you do not need to pay the Medicare levy surcharge, which would have been over $1,000. You can usually buy an appropriate level of hospital cover for cheaper, so it's usually better to have private health insurance if you're over the threshold. And your private health insurance details should automatically be pre-filled, but if it isn't, then click add and follow the instructions to enter your details. And we are now done. Let's go back to this page and click calculate. And congratulations, that is your tax refund. Feel free to go through it so you understand what you are being charged for. And make sure you double check everything is correct before submitting. Because if you forget something important, then you'll need to make an adjustment request to the ATO, and trust me, that's annoying. So please try to make sure everything is correct the first time. And once you're happy with everything, click lodge. And you are done. Congratulations, you won't have to do your tax again for another 12 months. All you have to do now is patiently wait for your refund to be transferred to your bank account. And usually it will take about 14 days to come through. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, comment the word refund down below so I know you made it this far. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future videos like this. I'll be making a lot more useful videos like this and you don't want to miss them. And if you want to learn how to maximize your tax return, check out this video on screen where I go over 8 legal ways you can pay less tax and maximize your tax return. Thank you for watching, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.